Mhm. Okay, gotcha. Oh, you text me, gotcha. Cool, cool.
All right, so we are live on YouTube. So let me head back over to Zoom. Hey,
Oh, you text me.
welcome everyone. Welcome. We want to welcome you to our very first. All right, so we are live on
let
YouTube.
Mhm.
me So turn let it me off head of back
Mhm.
over to
Mhm.
Zoom so that it doesn't talk to me. So guys, we are live on our very first episode of the Wellness Current, and this is my partner in crime, one of my best friends, Andre Gibson. We are on here together because we've been on this journey of elevation, and I call it my abundance current and staying in that abundance current. But part of staying in that abundance current is making sure that you make sure that your wellness current is at the forefront of everything that you're doing. Because if you want to manifest the life that you say that you really want, if you want to live long, if you would just want to experience joy, have great relationships, success in your business, whatever that is, it has to start with healing your temple and making sure that your temple is in its current state um of being in an elevated space. So my good friend here, Andre, who we're both going to do an introduction. I'm going to let him introduce himself before I go back into introducing me. But I want to let you guys all know today's day one. It is rough, it is raw. We just came up with the concept and we wanted to get this information out to you guys as quickly as possible. So, with that, we are going to talk about wellness today. We're going to talk about an amazing partnership that we have with a company that has a movement that is literally in the formulation stage, but it is taking the world by storm and every life that it's touching, it is healing it in a miraculous way that everyone needs to know about. So, without further ado, let me introduce my good friend, my partner in crime, Andre, who's currently in Medellin, Colombia. Nope, did I
Yes,
say that right? Medellin, Colombia. Let's go.
you got it. You got it. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Charisma. So I'm glad to be a part of this. Glad to be a part of this movement as we're sharing, with the health current. And I'm passionate about travel. I'm passionate about health, and I'm passionate about spending time with loved ones. And at the end of the day, if we don't have our health, how can we access all of these things in life? Feeling great, spending time with our friends, our loved ones, being able to travel, being able to do a lot of things, So very passionate to be here. We're going to be going over some incredible information of what is taking, the world by storm. And these are for people to hear about it. We don't know what we don't know until we know, So a part of our main objective is to give this information to people so they would know of what they're going to have access to for themselves and for their lives and for their friends and family moving forward. So, yeah, we are kicking it off.
Yeah, we're definitely kicking off. And for all of you that are going to wonder, because from time to time you may hear people behind the scenes that are going to be asking questions. Those are our insiders that they've either gotten a personal invite from one of us that are a part of the movement, or they're active members inside of our free the Wellness Current community, which you're going to be able to access that and get access and get in there for free. And you can come in and actually, we're going to talk about our 10-day detox challenge and everything that we got going on there for our free members. But we just kicked that off today. So for those of you that want to participate in being a part of our events and being able to have that VIP access behind the scenes and be able to ask your questions or participate in what my most exciting part of the day is going to be is there is, I call it my wellness AI doctor, but it's not really a doctor, but it is AI behind the scenes. It's a bot that's going to be able to listen to you and understand and do if this, then that. So it's going to say, if you have this ailment, this is what's going to cure it at the core. It's actually going to go in and heal at the core. So that's my favorite part that we're going to talk about today. So again, go ahead and look at the description of the video after you're watching this, and we're going to drop it in the chat from time to time. You're going to be able to go ahead and click and get into our free community and get access to our free events and get behind the scenes just like this. And then also participate in our health and wellness, our 10-day detox challenge and so much more. So without further ado, guys, Dre and I recently decided to lock arms. We've been trying to figure out how to come together to begin to talk about all of these quiet conversations that we have with one another. I mean, we spend hours on the phone talking about elevating our lives. Andre went through a traumatic experience in his life that I've literally watched this man transform and come into the elevated version of himself. But we've had these conversations along the journey. And I'm not saying I haven't had my journey. We'll talk about that too. But along the journey, we have been helping each other and coaching each other and plugging in. So we recently partnered with a company called Vital Health, and Vital Health is based out of Mexico. And the beautiful thing is that the founder, he's a world-renowned doctor. Wor Locked arms with Dr. Sebi, learned from him and ran in those circles. And literally, people are coming from all over the world to try to meet with him, but you can't get an appointment for like 6, 9 months down the line. So there's a gentleman that actually had his father that was experiencing long COVID effects. So he booked an appointment for his father, and his father not only had his life saved, but had dramatic results fast. And I can attest to that because I'm currently taking the products myself, and it's just recent, but how quickly these nutraceuticals are able to go in and begin to heal the body. And you'll hear that from when Andre and I share our stories. So welcome, Benji, from behind the scenes. So again, I was sharing, we're live on Facebook. So do me a favor, keep your cameras off for those of you that are behind the scenes. And when we do allow you guys to open up and share the mic to ask us questions or share with us your ailments, you guys can go ahead, and if you choose to come on screen, that's okay. But we do want to keep those mics off for the meantime. So along this journey, this gentleman aligned, his father got healed, and he was amazed at the results. And he asked the doctor, "What are you doing to get this to the world?" And the doctor was very excited, was like, "Yeah, I'm about to open up 10 more practices." And he was like, "Here in Mexico." He goes, "No, man, we got to get this to the world. This is life changing." And so he shared with him. Little did the doctor know that he was healing the father of a gentleman that worked with health and wellness communities, companies that were building brands around the world. However, these brands didn't have what they had. For the first time, you have a nutraceutical company that is created by a world-renowned doctor that is actually working, and he can get it to the masses, where these other companies were only white labeling the same product over and over again and just creating another company. These companies were also created in the United States. So those brands where the markup was so astronomical that people couldn't consistently afford to take those products. Number three, I'm a user and I tried some of those products, and unfortunately, you don't see the effects quick enough to really want to stay on there long term. So it makes you wonder, do they even work? So, and I'm talking about 3, 6 months down the line, and you're not seeing the changes. And the question is, those companies were just white labeling. So if one company didn't make it, and then when someone else was white labeling it again, makes you question the validity of the capacity for them to heal you. So, needless to say, once the doctor realized who he was talking to, they decided to do a partnership. And 3 years ago, so exciting, they launched in the country of Mexico and grew astronomically and did over $4 million in sales their first year. Year two, they opened up in the United States. So that was this past summer, not this summer, but the summer before, 1 year ago, and jumped from 4 million to, my understanding, $40 million in sales. Not because they were doing fancy marketing. I'm gonna tell you, it's simple products, simple marketing. And the marketing is just from people sharing it with other people sharing it from friend to friend, getting on something like this and just sharing with the world. But people were having such amazing results and quick results, and it was affordable because it was created and made in Mexico. So the prices were at a price point where people could heal fast, feel the results, were happy with the results, shared it with their friends, and everyone could afford it. Fast forward, the company is on the trajectory of doing their first $1 billion, and they're only in going into year number 3. Guys, this is they're still in formulation stages. They haven't even got to the place of capacity, which some friends reached out to me. And before Andre tells his story, which leads me to my story, during COVID, I too got sick. See, unfortunately, pre-COVID, I was drinking all the time and not like heavy alcoholic drinking, but I couldn't go to sleep without a glass of wine. I could not go out without having drinks, and that drinking had taken its toll on me over the years. So when COVID hit, it hit hard. It hit me so hard that my son was having to help me, and he was underage at the time, giving me food and staying out of the room. But I called my friends who were in the health insurance, and I was like, I think I need to get a life policy because all I was doing was watching the news, and I saw so many people dying. And I said, if I die, I got to make sure that my kid is left with something. I reached out to some friends. They plugged me in to a naturopath doctor, a who prescribed me nutraceuticals. This was my introduction. So nutraceuticals, these types of things were not new to me. However, at the time, if anyone knows what I do crypto education. And so being in that crypto space, at the time I was doing sales for a cryptocurrency trading company. And I was able to bring in an astronomical amount of money that allowed me to be able to afford $350 to go and visit the doctor. In addition to that, on a monthly basis, I was spending anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500 on nutraceuticals. Not everyone can afford to do that. I was blessed and I understood that. I went through that journey. However, halfway through my healing process, the company that I was working for went out of business. Unfortunately, they came into the crypto world just a little bit too soon, and the SEC wasn't liking that because there was too many people of color that were winning. So that income, as quickly as I was able to get it, it was taken away that quickly, and there went my access, and there went my health right back downhill. I thought I was healed, but I still needed to be healed. And then I began being stressed out. What did I do? I started having wine again, thinking I can keep on this journey. Fast forward, I have talked to other individuals that are on that health and wellness journey, and I've been doing detoxes, but I didn't have access to the nutraceutical, the lines of things that I needed to calm down my inflammation, to heal my body, to clear out my gut, to take out the toxins, to feed my brain, to give my temple the nutrients that it was lacking, because guess what? Our food is nutrient deficient. Fast forward, I found out that my sister, who is just 5 years older than me, was sick. I tried to get her to go, and I told her to go and see the doctor that I now couldn't afford, but I knew she couldn't afford. And she says, "Sis, I wish I could." And she was like, "I'm barely making ends meet now." After my sister passed away in December of this past year, 2024, on Christmas Eve. And my cousin called me from Africa, and she played me a voicemail where my sister was literally pleading, wishing that she had access to the health care so that she didn't have to die. And all she wanted to do was get better. She was young. There was a way possible, but she didn't have access and she couldn't afford it. I didn't know then, but I do understand now. And it just this was a recent revelation was I had to be taken away from that abundance that was given to me just so I can be introduced to it for a short term. But God knew that, hey, Charisma, we can't duplicate this and help the world heal the way that you're healing because not everyone has that access. Fast forward, some good girlfriends of mine who I met through my crypto journey, through that first crypto sales job. That was the connection. It connected me to them, and we built this level of trust that when they came and shared this with me, I was wide open. And I'm wide open now. And I reached out to my friend Andre and I was like, yo, look what I found. And I got so excited because my sister is um, putting that fire under me to help everybody to not have to go through what she had. People don't have to die at alarming young rates. Being 54 years old is way too young to be having your life when we can live well into 100 years old. It is proven there are people around the world that are living these healthy lives, and I believe each and every one of us should be able to live them too. So I am back on my health journey. I am still struggling with inflammation, but every morning it's crazy. When I'm feeling it, I take my nutraceuticals, boom, it clears up. And every day I'm feeling better than the day before. And I'm writing a journal on it. And along this journey, I'm going to be sharing my progress. Andre's going to be sharing his progress, and we're going to be coming on here to the wellness current and sharing with the world our progress and then plugging you guys in and educating you guys on the nutraceuticals that we now have access to and we want all of you to have access to. We're going to give you access to our free community so you can participate in our detox challenges. There's a free version of the community and a paid version, but the free version is dope. It's on fire, it has everything you need, and you can get plugged in so that you don't have to have a short lifespan. Before I pass the mic over to Andre, I do want to point out a couple other people that have inspired me along this journey. There's a good, and I'm not going to name all their names, but there's a good friend of mine that just recently, last month, called, and he's 36 years old, called me and was like, "Hey, Kay, I'm not going to be able to make our meeting. I'm not going to be able to make it." The very next day, his wife called me and told me he died of a heart attack. Way too young. A good friend of mine from high school. We talk almost every month, like clockwork. I was devastated about last summer to realize on social media when his wife posted that he had passed away. He had a infection and all of a sudden, boom, was gone. It was infection that his feet were swelling. But if we're taking and feeding our bodies, we wouldn't have to be going through these things. So there's people that are inspiring me because I want to make sure that more of us are not leaving planet Earth and we get to have a journey just a little bit longer. And for those of us that are here, I want to be 80, 90 years old. And I remember my great grandma Pat, she was walking around at 90 years old, healthy, walking around the street. She wasn't 60, 70 years old, walking with a cane or barely getting up the stairs. 60 is young, 70 is young. And we have people that are in their 30s looking like they're in their 70s and 60s. So there's a time that we got to make a change. So to answer any questions, and because I don't want to give any false ideals, I am not a wellness expert. I do teach cryptocurrency. I have a thriving cryptocurrency business, crypto Web3 education business, but my passion is in healing my temple and making sure everyone's healing their temple along the journey because I believe I can't have wealth in crypto or anywhere without making sure that my temple is healed. So I'm not an expert doctor say wise, and I'm not a wellness guru, but I am someone that knows how to find things that work. Just like I know how to make sure my house is put together. I know how to make sure my car is running. I know how to make sure that my temple stays healthy. And being in my mid 40s, I know that I'm going to be looking healthy and young for many years to come. So without further ado, I want to drop the mic and bring it over to my friend Andre so he can give an introduction and share with you why he decided to join this mission as well. And then we're going to start talking about the products and opening up the VitalBot. Go ahead, Dre.
Please, please. So yeah, everyone, I want to, share with everybody my backstory. So, I mean, of course, when it comes down to losing loved ones, and when you look back on things that could have been prevented, we only have control over so much. So, within 2.5 years, probably exactly between 2018 and 2020, I lost my mom and my brother to, you know, to a very common disease, that we all know about. And, um, it was in my mind to try to save both of them. I thought I was going to be able to save both of them, but it was too late, and it was just trying to save them with prayer, just try to save, you know, both of them, but it ended up being too late. And when you look at how things in life happen in order, and then leading up to myself, in 2 years ago, in 2023, um, God gave me a second chance at life. I went to an event, came home, ended up having an accident, was in ICU, for 10 days. And when I recovered from that, they didn't think I was going to make it for the first 3 days. They called me a miracle in the hospital. And when I recovered from that, I was looking at the things that I was doing before. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was drinking, I was smoking, I was taking my health for granted and taking life for granted. So, a combination of losing loved ones that are near and dear close to me, of my immediate family, and also losing my own life, God just pretty much told me, hey, you got a second chance. What are you going to do? And then that made me look at myself in the mirror and ask myself, okay, Andre, you're here. You're still here. What way of being do you want to be for the rest of your life? And I had to look in the mirror and I asked myself, look at yourself now. How do you want to be in your years moving forward, mentally and spiritually? And I really had to ask myself that question. So that's when I really got deep into personal development, which is my brand. And when I really got deep into that, I wanted to start helping people, because if you can control your mind, you can control your decision making and everything. And as I started to proceed, and started helping a lot of people and was starting the process of developing programs, this is when Charisma shared what we're sharing with all of you right now, because your mind, body, and spirit are all connected. You can't do anything without your health. Your health has a relationship with your decision making. Your health has a decision, makes a decision in connection to that decision with your movement, how you feel, how you act, how you treat people, how you operate business, and just your overall functionality. So I'm very excited, very passionate to be a part of this, because not only am I already in the realm of helping people mentally, but this opens up the arena of being able to help people physically with their health. Because again, and I say it all the time, if health is the highest currency that you have access to, that's more important than anything. Because if you don't have health, what do you have? So that's why I really take this serious. And everybody that's listening, we all know how important health is. We just have we just have a time, time to time, every once in a while we take it for granted. And then we constantly get reminded to not take it for granted. Look at what's happening in the world. Look at what happened to our friend, our family member, and even some of us that have recovered from health issues or recovered from, having an accident or whatever the case may be. We're out here for a reason. So, let's make the best of it and control what we can control. And the main thing that we have control over is our health. Especially when you get the information and having access to it, to be able to, take care of it independently, without always having to go outside, of yourself. So yeah, I'm happy to move forward with this, and happy to be here, everyone, and happy to bring value to everybody that is a part of this, that's going to be watching this. So yes, Charisma, I'm going to hand the mic back to you.
Yeah, so we're going to move on and we're going to talk
Mhm.
about our partnership. So I introduced you guys to our partnership with Vital Health. So Vital Health, again, as I share with you, still brand new, 3 years in business. However, the Dr. Tony Rodriguez, he is not new to the game. He's been in this space for well over a decade plus, changing the lives, having people come from all over the world to be able to get healed. Within our communities. There's a Facebook group for that. We've been introduced to Vital Health, and the astronomical amount of testimonials where people are showing their live lab works from the doctors, showing pre going through the process to after. And we're not going to name any particular illnesses only because we want to make sure we're staying in alignment with the laws that are here in the United States and around the world. And we don't want to give any false claims, but we do want to invite all of you guys to participate by even just coming to the 10-day challenge. So again, we're going to drop that in the chat. But Dr. Tony Rodriguez had a mission. See, his mom had passed away very early on, and he was young. He was too young, and he promised to her on her deathbed that he was going to heal the world. He couldn't heal her because he was too young, but he kept that promise. And into his adulthood, he went into healing naturally. So every person that has been able to be touched by this company was 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 an inspiration for him to want to give back because of what he had experienced with his mother, aligning himself with the likes of Dr. Sebi. If any of you guys know Dr. Sebi, I had the blessing along my journey to meet him from out of his office that was, or his clinic that was in South Central. You would go to the clinic and you would go up and you would knock, and there's a security camera and then a buzzer because they would want to talk to you to confirm that you had a appointment with them, because people didn't like that he was changing lives. The pharmaceutical company doesn't like when individuals are healing at the core because let's let's say it how it is. There was mechanisms put into place to make sure that we don't live our full life expectancy because we become no longer an asset when we're out of our income producing stages. In addition to that, people of color, and I'm not just talking about African Americans, I'm talking about any Black and brown person all over the world. During COVID, we took the majority all around the world. The US Census confirmed here in the US that if you were a person of color in any capacity, you were now the majority versus the minority. When you have this happening and there's a transformation in the individuals that are ruling, or not ruling, but becoming the majority in the world, there's going to be a change that happens on another scale. And people understand that, or the people of power understand that. So they didn't want Dr. Sebi to be able to be here. And a lot of people that are in that on that level to where they tried to take Dr. Sebi to court because he was claiming that he was healing illnesses that the government said you were not allowed to claim, and he had using the name doctor on his name when he hadn't gone and gotten a doctorate degree, or sorry, a medicine degree, and he wasn't practicing medicine. But he won that lawsuit. He proved to them that he was curing, I'm going to say this word, cancer. He was curing it at its core. He was reversing it, putting people into remission, and then it was never coming back again. And he proved it. And he wouldn't stay quiet about it. So Dr. Sebi, if you know his story, he was constantly in South America and in Mexico going to get the herbs, linking up with the people out there because the herbs were much more economical to get there, and some of those herbs just didn't grow here. So he would bring them back. And along his journey, he made a mistake. And my understanding is that he had like a few dollars too much that went over the requirement that you're allowed to move money back and forth when you're traveling. He was bringing with him the herbs to heal people, to change their lives on a cellular level. And as a result of that, they were watching him. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were just waiting for that perfect opportunity to incarcerate him. Once they incarcerated him, one of the healthiest men that has ever existed and changed the lives of so many other people died of a cold in prison. I don't believe it, and many other people don't believe it, or maybe they claimed it was the flu, but it was something so minute. But needless to say, Dr. Tony Rodriguez, when you run in those circles, you're healing the same. The formula isn't that different, but you have to be able to go out there and put the nutraceuticals in a formulation to where your body is able to take them in. So the adaptogens, and I'm hopefully I said that right. And Andre, correct me because I know some of this stuff you know just a little bit better than me. But the things that they did, the technology that they added to this, created some of the most profound nutraceuticals that are healing very quickly. And I'm saying within the less than 30 days, the first week, you're starting to feel it. The first day, you're feeling the effects. You're feeling your body because it's like you ever have a plant and you don't water it and it's like limping and it's like almost going, and then you put water in it and you wake up the next day and it's like, that's what your body's going to do. That's what my body, that's what I'm going to do. That's what my body feels like. And that's what everyone else is experiencing. We're coming back to life. Our limbs are just being happy once again because we're being fed. But along this journey, uh, Dr. Tony Rodriguez, when he created this, he created simple packaging that he can get to us. So we're going to start going through these one by one, but we're not going to, I do not claim to be an expert, and we're going to say that over and over again. So we're going to be going through these together with the help of when you take nutraceuticals that are healing your body and combine it with AI technology. Come on, guys, I'm a techie girl. I am love technology. I'm in this crypto world, so I mean crypto AI. So if you when you combine these two, the AI technology is able to do if this, then that. So that AI technology you put in there, and we're going to go. Andre, do you want to go ahead and I'm going to give you co-hosting, and can you share your screen with the Vital Health Bot? Make co-host.
Oh, here, let me see.
Guys, we're going to bring this up, and for those of you that are on YouTube, I am going to be looking on my phone to see if any of you want to share with us your ailments or anything that you're going through, or maybe something that someone you know is going through, because maybe it's not you. Maybe you're just the messenger that's supposed to deliver the message to the person that you know that needs to be healed. And for our special guests that are on here, each one of you, we're going to be asking you something that you may be going through personally, or it can be someone that you know. You don't have to tell if it's something you're personally going through or who is going, but just ask us some ailments or some problems or issues that you're experiencing with your body. It can be foggy brain, it can be lack of energy. It doesn't have to be a full-blown illness. It can be bloatedness. We just want to know what it is, and we're going to pop that bad boy into the chat, the AI bot, and then we're going to let it tell us what it is that is needed to heal our temple at its core.
Yeah. And here we are. You guys can see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. 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 Yeah. So yeah, we can go ahead and get this started right here. All right.
So we have two guests. So I'm going to go ahead, and if either one of you want to go first, because you guys get to ask your questions first, um, or share ailments. So I see Benji, you went on ahead and did your mic first. So go ahead and share, and the Andre will drop it in the
Charisma, what up?
what up, what up?
Yeah, you know him.
I know.
Yep. Yep.
um, so it's funny, like my injury or issue is probably because I am so health conscious. So I hurt myself working out, and I'm probably a product of my own demise where I probably work out too much at times and don't give my body enough rest. So I like strained a muscle really bad in like my neck, my upper intercostal muscles, like my ribs and my upper back. It felt like something more serious, but thank God, like when I went to the doctors and they cleared me because I am, like Dre knows, I'm very, much into health, which is why I'm on this call because I'm always into like supplements and just things that, as much as I love to juice and eat healthy and work out, I know that, adding supplements to your routine and your diet, also is very important. So, yeah, so that's my, like, I have this like upper, like, my body has like a lot of inflammation as it's healing
Mm-hmm.
from this, like, injury. So I'm curious, to, know, is there something that, I could take, to further, assist me as I'm, healing from this, you know, upper body, situation, upper back rib situation. Yeah.
Yeah, so in addition to like I love juicing too, and but
Hmm.
what we're all beginning to learn is that unfortunately not every green, not every fruit is equal, and especially if
Yep.
you're getting your food from a farm production that didn't isn't nurturing their soil, we are eating fruits and vegetables that are nutrient deficient. Um,
Definitely.
so
I told someone that one time and they got mad at me. I was speaking to someone and I said, not all vegetables and fruits are created equal. And they were like, "What are you talking about? Vegetables?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I grew up on a farm in Jamaica, so I know this firsthand." So anything that's raised improperly, raised by just like the meats and the vegetables are all the same. If they're pumped with stuff that's not good for you, then it's not gonna be good itself. It might be a vegetable, but it'll be a bad vegetable or not as good of a vegetable. So
yeah. There was this great story, and I'm going to search far and wide because I remember a couple years ago, a good friend of mine. While we're doing that, Andre, if you want to type in the chat, maybe so I would do muscle repair and inflammation, and then back pain. Put those words in there, and then it should come up with some things. But a few years ago, a friend sent me this update of so it was a story of these two twins, these two young boys that were born as twins, identical twins, but unfortunately they were separated at birth because they went into foster care. And one of them was adopted by a family, a very low income family, but a very loving family. And the other one was adopted by this extremely wealthy family, and they were actually health and wellness gurus, um, lived totally different lifestyles, and they were in their 50s or 60s telling the story. And one was barely getting around. He looked like he was 90 something years old, could barely move. And the other one was fit, thriving, and on a different level. And it was just because of their lifestyles, what was fed to them along the journey. And it was miraculous to see two identical people, our two twins, and what their different life journeys. One was nutrient deficient all his life, was fed processed foods, didn't have access to the best or any healthcare whatsoever, and had missing teeth. Eyes were almost bloodshot red. It was a huge difference in what their bodies look like. So that's just astronomical. But hey, Andre, so now your results are coming up.
Yes.
And before we read off his results, so our special guest that was supposed to be on here with us earlier, unfortunately had a little delay because there was someone that had passed away that was very close to them, but they were able to hop on with us. And so they're going to be helping us pick up the pieces. Corey, Sherelle, we have been doing the thing since you guys waiting on you guys to hop on, but I think we got it. You guys can watch the replay.
Oh yeah,
But
of
so
course.
now that we've talked a little bit about the company, we talked about the mission, Andre shared his story, I shared my story, and now we have people that are on YouTube live that are asking questions, wanting to know their ailments, but we also have some of our VIPs that got special invites from the community to come in here and be able to talk about their ailments. Before we read, and Benji, if it's okay, I would love to just introduce these two queens because I think that they're going to be able to also look at what's on the screen and have a deeper conversation with you and then which share after we go. So if Benji, is that okay with you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Okay.
totally fine.
So in that story that I was sharing with all you guys, that I told you that I had met these two queens in that doing sales for a crypto trading company, that was God aligning me because that currency, that crypto trading company allowed me to get introduced to nutraceuticals. But unfortunately, I shared with you that the company went out of business and so did my income. And with that, we stayed friends. We built trust very early on. Like when I say they plugged into me like I had never experienced before. And I now call Sherelle's mom my mom. Sherelle's my sister now. That is my mama, Corey, because I had never met individuals that authentically wanted to help you along the journey. And it was truly, I felt like I had found another one of me because I wake up every day trying to figure out, okay, whose life can I change today? Who can I help? To the point that I had people say, like, Charisma, you can't be happy-go-lucky like this all the time. I am. But fast forward, they had got introduced to the vital health movement and had been trying to share with me, but I had been so busy launching our crypto education Web3 platform that I kept telling them, I'll call you back, I'll call you back. And I just wasn't following through because not only was I struggling with that, but I shared with you guys that I wasn't all the way healed. So I was quietly and I wasn't talking about it. I didn't even share it with them. But the inflammation was taking its toll. So the moment I was getting home, I was burnt out from 12, 14 hours working every single day and trying to drown myself with water to make my headaches and stuff go away. But needless to say, they didn't give up. And then they finally shared it with me. And that's when my light bulb went on. Um, and I've been taking the nutraceuticals and I'm still on my very early days. Corey, sure, I started journaling because I want to journal and write out this journey because they worked way faster than the stuff that I was taking before. Because of them, I shared it with Andre. Because I shared it with Andre, some of you are on this call and some of you are watching it live on YouTube. And because they shared it, we're now going to be able to change lives of people all over the world together. So I want to introduce you to Corey and Sherelle. They are both actually Corey's hopping on now, but Corey
Mhm.
and Sherelle, if we can start with you, Sherelle, if you can give your story, and then we can bring Mama Corey on to share her story as well.
Absolutely. First of all, I want to say, please accept our deepest apologies. I just found out that a friend of mine's mother, who was like an aunt to me, I've known her since I was like 13 or 14 years old, passed. So it was devastating to me. And I didn't realize that it actually happened a couple days ago.
Mm,
Because, we were out of pocket. And so, you know, one of the most important things about life is to live in the moment, and to be in that moment. So I do want to apologize for not being here right on time because there's no place else that we would rather be than right here talking about these products. Um, Ironically enough, I ended up talking to her as she was telling me, I mean, we talked for like 2 hours, as I was talking to her about the death of her mother and as she's coping with it wonderfully, about the products, because this is what we do. But yes, I want to thank you guys. This is such a cool platform. This is so cool that you're doing it. It's phenomenal, and it is a great way to like get to a lot of people swiftly. These products are amazing and they're life-changing. I can quickly tell my testimony as mommy's jumping on. And I can just kind of tell you a little bit about them. I am a big no girl, right? Like I should have a t-shirt that just says no on it, because when people send my mom stuff all the time and I'm like, no. How many ways can I say no? Nada, no. Like no, because we've got so much going on. And I was like, Mommy, we cannot entertain something else. We need, I don't want to do that. And so I was listening, as they were, trying to cajole my mother and share with her about this great company and these amazing products. I was like, of course they're amazing, right? Your life has changed, right? And what they said, which sparked me and just like excited me, was that the doctor, our doctor, Dr. Tony, studied underneath Dr. Sabi. And I was like, what? Because health and wellness is something that is always in the forefront, should be of all of our minds, right? Making sure that we maintain our health and preserve our health and our youth as much as possible. So I was like, okay, yeah, mama, let him send you a box. I was like, it's whatever. Do whatever. Maybe it's okay. And so I kind of started getting excited as I was listening to the calls, but I was like not trying to, be fed a bill of goods. I think that everybody on this call can understand how it feels to be hyped up about something, and then it's not as it was hyped up to be. And there's nothing worse than disappointment, especially when people can just tell you the truth, because the truth is always good enough, right? Um, so when we got these products, I was like, okay, this box is kind of lit. I'm kind of excited. The products really did taste as good as everybody was saying, because hello, we know that health and wellness vitamins sometimes taste like crap, but we take them because our bodies are more important to us than, a moment on the lips. And so I have always dealt with anxiety as well as sleeplessness. I have actually dealt with insomnia probably since college. And that is probably about 25 years, a little bit more than that. And I've just had a hard time resting. My mind I have one of those minds. I mean, I won't say I have ADD or ADHD, but probably if I was a younger person and I would go, I probably would be diagnosed with it. I think that we have so many inboxes to check, right? We have so many things going on. Our minds are like, "Boo, boo, 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 boo." And so there's a product that they said would help you to sleep better. I'm a melatonin girly, or I had been, right? But melatonin will give you the nightmares like Michael Jackson Thriller when you take them. And so that's kind of scary, right? And I was even giving them to my daughter, and she was also having nightmares, but we needed to sleep because sleep is required, right? If you don't sleep, you cannot like function. Listen, I took one, be it a lay, one night. And I woke up the next morning, 10 minutes before my alarm went off. I'm not a morning time girly. 10 minutes before my alarm went off. And I felt like a song was singing. It was just like bliss. I had slept. I rested. And I know that may sound so simple to some people, but if you're someone who has ever suffered with anxiety or sleeplessness, I promise you that this is not small to you. And it has changed my life over the past couple months. I have been able to sleep. The whites of my eyes are whiter. I rest. And I'm able to be more focused too. One of the things that I absolutely love is like the neurological effect that the Be Italy and the Neuro Cafe has had on my ability to focus. I do still have 210 tabs open on my laptop. That has not changed. But what has changed is that I can actually start closing them because I complete tasks. So, guys, I'm telling you, and that's just one of my testimonies. There's so many because our products are so multifaceted and they do so many things. Do not forget to ask the old ladies about how it goes down with the Love Cafe, because they over here getting with these old men and it's popping off like they are in their 20s. Okay. When the women call my mom, I'm like, Mom, let me get out of the room. I don't want to hear about these old women and they tingles, because it's really happening. It's like people are able to age backwards, and that's like all that we want, right? It's to be at our perfect age that God has for us. Okay, and now I'm getting ready to turn it over to the queen, right? From one queen, Charisma, to the other, my mom. You guys are so phenomenal. Mommy, you have the best testimony. It is exciting. And I'm gonna go ahead and mute out. And that's my basic testimony. Be it a lay, baby, all day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I tell you what, Charisma, you are some kind of special, honey, putting something like this together, for everyone to be able to see and be exposed to these products because they are really and truly life-changing, and y'all are still very young. Praise the Lord for that. Any issues that you have in your body, with your body, you're able to help them now, in a natural way, right? With just plant-based foods, with just plant-based nutraceuticals. That's what these are, you know? And so it makes it work so synergistically with our body because it is what our body is designed to receive. That's what the way God created us, right? So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I have many, many testimonies, I tell you, not just one. Andre, you look so handsome, baby. I have many testimonies, but I do want to share one with you. And I know, Sherelle, you were not expecting this particular testimony, but we travel a lot. We love traveling. And this past weekend, Sherelle has had me all over Washington, D.C. And I tell you what, when we leave the airport, which is Atlanta. Okay, let me just tell y'all something real quick. This is kind of a little funny, but anyway, we were on our way to some cruise Sherelle had us going on. I think it was our first Disney cruise. This was maybe 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever. And so I switched into the airport, and I thought I was looking pretty doggone good. And this young man came up to me and said, "Ma'am, would you like a wheelchair? I'll help you." And I was like, "I beg your pardon, you know. And and I said, "No, I don't need a wheelchair. What makes you think I need a wheelchair?" And he said, "Well, I didn't know. I was just, I just thought if I could help." And he said, and then Sherelle said, "Well, Mommy, we can get through the line quicker." So I said, "Okay, come on, let's go." So started using this wheelchair situation, right? Unbeknownst to me, I really did need to start using this wheelchair, right? Walking these distances. And so I had been doing that, but I started on these products in the beginning of May. Now I'm telling y'all, we travel at least maybe 4 or 5 times a year. Again, Sherelle has me traipsing around the world. And so when we go to the airport, some of these airports are huge, and Atlanta happens to be one of them. And so everywhere we go, we're traveling out of Atlanta. Well, let me tell y'all something, honey. Within the last 2 times that we have traveled, since we've been on the products, I have not used a wheelchair. How about that? Right? And I switched on out of there today again, honey. Because the products are so amazing and they don't take long to work. You know what I mean? And so I'd been having some mobility issues because we're animal lovers, and we had gotten these cute little golden doodles back a year or so ago, 2 years now it's been, and one of them, being rambunctious as puppies are, ran into my leg, and my leg had been giving me trouble ever since. My knee had been giving me trouble ever since, to the point where it became very challenging to walk up and down the stairs here at our home. And so that's all right. I just may do. I always say it takes more than that to keep a step down. You know what I mean? So needless to say, when we started on the products, and I started using the V-Itadol and the Kirkamax, my mobility has been incredible. I can move around now much, much, much better. I'm telling y'all, I did not use the wheelchair at all, and I have not we started, um, since we started on these products back in May, right? And so that's just a testament to the products. And the beautiful thing that I love about them, Charisma and Andre, is that it doesn't take long for them to be effective. And that's what I love so much. When Sherelle woke up that morning after the very first time of her taking Vitale, when she woke up that morning and she said, "Mommy, I slept so good and I feel so good." it almost brought tears to my eyes because I saw my baby looking so clear. So, folks, our products, again, they don't take long at all, and they work without a doubt. Without a doubt. So we're just excited about it. There's so much that we can talk about, but I don't want to, just kind of hog the whole thing. But I did want to share that portion of it with you, and I'll tell y'all some more later about the energy drinks if you like.
Yeah, no, I absolutely adore listening to you guys' stories because I remember when after you told me you finally got in contact with me and we got in the Zoom and I was like, what are you guys doing? You look so vibrant and glowing.
Glowing.
Yeah, your faces, and I was like, I want some of that. Like, and
Right, right.
you were like, I've been trying to call you. So where we had been in this journey, and one, thank you guys for hopping on, is Benji. We were going now because we have people that are watching live from YouTube that we have a couple of people that have some things that they want to put us into the Vital Health bot. And then we had started with Benji because these are our VIPs that hopped on with us behind the
Mm,
scenes.
okay.
So Benji was having from working out. He had been overstrenuous and, his muscles are inflamed because they're in repair mode.
Mm,
And he does eat a very healthy lifestyle, but he understands
mhm,
adding nutrients to his body. Benji, you're
mhm,
welcome to chime in if I left anything out. But Andre typed in what he shared, and
mhm.
yeah, Benji, I'm gonna let you take it away, and then we're just gonna have a conversation about what came up on the Vital Health Bot.
Isn't this beautiful? Look at the alignment. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but Sherelle wanted me to give y'all another testimony, and I began to tell you about my pain,
Mhm.
my mobility issues, and y'all were already talking about that. How about
Yeah,
that?
both these.
Yeah.
Wonderful
Yeah,
alignment.
because for me, it's like I have a bunch of injuries throughout the years. Most stemming, I was in the Marine Corps, so a lot of this stems from that. But I work out very regularly. Like Andre knows this. Like I'm very consistent. I'm probably over 20 years plus, just consistently working out. So, yeah. So like I have this injury from just just a slip with the weights. Small little slip that turned into like, something really bad. Like, I actually thought it was a heart pain because the way my chest and my side was like aching me. And then, having to
Yeah.
go to the doctor and they're like looking at me crazy. They're like, man, you're extremely healthy. Like, what are you talking about?
Hmm.
Because I had to get a CT scan of my heart,
Hmm.
lungs, multiple blood work. Cause I'm like, my breathing is off. I'm having chest pains. Like, what's going on? And they're just like, we think you hurt yourself working out. And so I've been resting and just trying to recover and just shut down on the gym, which is very hard for me to do, but I'm doing it anyway. And yeah, like when Dre told me about this, I was like, you know what, maybe some additional supplements or something
Yeah.
would be beneficial, because this it's a slow healing process as well. This stuff takes, as I'm getting older, the doctor's like, it could take months, weeks, as the muscles and, this, chest injury takes to heal. It doesn't happen overnight. So yeah, so that's just basically my story of where I'm at right now, with my health and trying to get back to, my usual self.
Yeah, Benji, and even with what you're sharing, man, because I know it was a question mark of, you not knowing what's going on. Okay, why am I getting this pain? I thought it was my heart. I thought it was this. I thought it was that. And at the end of the day, the cause for all pain, diseases, and all of that, it's inflammation. It
Yep,
Right.
is.
That's
inflammation.
right.
A lot of times we don't know what there's points where we don't know what causes it. Like in your case, you're super healthy. Benji's probably had like a six pack since he's been an adult. There's probably 1% of people on the planet that probably have that because he's been working out his whole life.
So
And you
since
would
high
think
school,
it's
since high school, technically,
yes,
since high
oh,
school.
Nice. Nice.
let's take it back from that. And the thing is, like you would think, because six packers are hardest to get and it's harder to sustain. So
Mm.
that even goes further in how consistent he's been throughout these years. But yeah, when you don't know what's going on, you know one thing, and you know that it's inflammation. And then then it's a matter of finding the thing that takes care of inflammation outside of steroids and all of those things that
Right.
you know
Right.
tell us, right? So and this is the solution to that. So yeah, just even going into the products are right here, which Corey, you've named these top two, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is put you in a position to get around in terms of mobility and all of that. But
Yes.
yeah, and I just love the way that this breaks down. You
Mm-hmm.
you put in whatever the ailment is. You put in whatever the problem is. Very simple. Muscle repair and inflammation and back pain. Okay, well, let's get down to the source because it knows exactly it knows what you're talking about. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it recommends the products. It tells you what the products do. What they target in terms of it being adaptogens and all of that. And this is what you have. And the incredible thing about it is the affordability. Because I've dealt with
Right.
holistic doctors. I'm sure
Right.
quite a few of us have, right? Especially in the States. And when you go, just like what Charisma was talking about at the very beginning, it's thousands of dollars. A lot of people would say, man, only rich people go to holistic doctors. Well, because the price is high. The price is very
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
high.
I'm trying to buy these products right now. I need to try this ASAP to see if this can work on me.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get you set up, man. Especially with them delivering where we are right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, can
And
we go
Mhm.
through maybe Corey Sherrill, since you're the guest, can you
yes,
go through starting with number one, and that way Benji can see what the main benefits are, the dosages, and Andre, scroll up to
yeah,
number one.
yeah. Here, let me do this. Boom, boom, boom. All right.
So you just want us to talk about the product a little bit, Charisma?
Yep, just talk about
Okay,
what come
so
up.
the Viitadol, the category in which it lies is the adaptogens. And so what that simply means is that our body is able now to adapt. It may respond differently in different bodies, right? So our bodies are able to adapt to the product in a way in which we need, right? And so the beautiful thing about this now, with this Viitadol, for me, I take quite a bit of it simply because, guys, I am 65 years old. Okay. And I am so grateful. Most people don't know that I'm 65. No one knows of the situations that I'm having. And so for me, though, what I do is I take 4 capsules in the morning. I take 4 capsules in the afternoon, and I take 4 capsules in the evening. And I do that along with the V Curcumax. Now, that is also an adaptogen. And with that, I take 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 2 in the evening as well. And that is what has allowed me to experience the level of mobility and comfort that I have experienced, since we've been taking the products. And again, it probably took maybe I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, for me to start really recognizing uh, great comfort, right? From not being able to walk up and down the stairs and then being able to do just that, right? Now, the V-Asculax is a wonderful, wonderful product, and it's really good for circulation as well. And that's really, really important. So we have a lot of our men folk that love the V-Asculax as well. And so we can kind of talk about that, in another portion. Of the nutraceuticals here on this afternoon. But that V-Asculax is very, very important. Now, every day we take the omega-3, just without regard. We take the omega-3. I take 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 2 in the evening. Okay. And then I give it to my granddaughter who is 7. We give it to her 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 in the evening because it helps a lot with brain function. And this girl is already short of genius. Well, of course, I'm her grandmother, so I would say that. But she is already very, very smart, right? And so the omega-3 is a wonderful, wonderful catalyst to the neurological development of our brain. And so we take that as well. Now, that collagen, Sherelle, you want to talk a little bit about the collagen?
I do. So the collagen is absolutely hands down one of my very favorite products, for a couple of reasons. The first reason, though, let me just be very transparent. I am vain. I'm a chick. I'm trying to maintain my youth. And that collagen, it turns over the cells in your skin and it will have you looking positively dewy. Now, so you know when you guys travel and sometimes you go to like the DR or someplace that's really amazing and like very kind of wet and tropical, your skin will look so good and you look really great when you come home for a couple weeks and then you start getting that regular dull look back. Some of that obviously is from the food, but it also is just because it's just like really starting to detox your skin. Well, that's what that collagen is doing inside of our bodies. It is putting in such good stuff and pushing out so much stuff that we absolutely don't need. My skin looks 1,000% different. And I'm really ashy, right? Like, do not judge me. But like, I can put on oil and I have invested thousands of dollars in face cream over the years to make sure that my skin doesn't get ashy. Because for women, men, y'all probably don't even think about this stuff. But when your skin is dry, and then it doesn't have any elasticity, that's when it wrinkles and sags and all that stuff that makes us look not young anymore. And so the collagen, woo, it gives you that plump look. And I feel like that is a game changer for men. Because of course, women are always going to do that kind of stuff. But if a man is taking that collagen, it is super game changer. Also, if you have any like joint or like pain issues, collagen is kind of like what makes you so dewy and glowy and beautiful is also the gook or whatever in between your bones that kind of keeps them lubricated. And so if you have any issues with pain or joint issues or anything like that, that collagen is not just going to be a beautifier on the outside. It is also absolutely 100% going to be a lubricator on the inside. So it is twofold. So men should take it because I mean you're going to look younger, but you should also take it because it's really going to help you, especially if you work out a lot and you're putting a lot of pressure on your joints and your ankles, your knees and stuff like that to really keep them lubricated and keep them moving, as fluidly as possible. The collagen I mean, all the products are so amazing, but the collagen is absolutely one of my favorites. And if you don't take it, like you're just robbing yourself of youth. Literally, it is youth in a bag.
Should I pull up the collagen one?
Yeah, you can. You could just ask
Okay.
about, tell me the benefits of the collagen. Now,
Okay.
and those are my benefits. Everything I'm telling you
Yeah.
guys, these are my personal benefits, and this has been my experience. Of course, a lot of our products are adaptogens, so they're going to behave differently inside of your body than they will in mine. What they do is they go and they figure out what the problem is and what you need, and it kind of goes in like a puzzle piece and just fixes it, or not fixes it, supports it. So the collagen, oh my God, and it tastes so good. I absolutely love it. It is so just like dreamy.
Right here.
And yep. Bam. Oh, and my nails. Oh my God. And my hair. My braider was like, girl, what are you doing? My hair is like, oh my God. And it is so thick. Thank you, baby. She's giving me money. My hair is so thick and my nails are harder than they've been my whole life. I literally have to keep clipping them because they're just growing like crazy. It's crazy.
Nice.
That's incredible. Oh, and I want to acknowledge Tootie because I know I call her Tootie. This is my cousin that I refer to as we've known each other since fourth grade. So when you become so close with somebody,
I
especially as
do.
kids, you just refer to them as family. Yeah.
Yep.
So I have shared on here, as I'm always calling her as her nickname. So yeah, I don't even know how many times I should share. I always call you by your nickname. But
Yeah,
yeah,
she's going to be up next. I can't wait to hear what we're going to pop into the bot for her.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
wanted to acknowledge her just in case she has any questions or anything. Yeah.
Yes.
Not questions right now. I like hearing about all of this. Working as a nurse, I do see that those that really get into taking health beyond what is prescribed to them um, helps quite a bit, not only just for your mind, but also just understanding that whenever medication is prescribed, something
Mhm.
pushes up. And
Mhm.
vitamins definitely have a positive effect on the body. I see it. I don't want to be on the other side of what I do.
Mm,
And yeah, so
right.
uh, someone said, I can't remember who said it. I don't know if it was Charisma or someone else, but they mentioned the focus medication. And Dre, I didn't even get to talk about that. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
focus vitamins, because I think I'm like a running tally. Sometimes I think about my patients when I'm not there. Like I'm literally listening to you all and I'm
Oh,
like, ooh, this is good for this. And, you know, I have this in my mind and it goes into my sleep.
Yep.
But the unfortunate side of that is not being focused throughout the day. Sometimes when I'm just having relaxation time, when I'm at
Right.
work, I'm
You're a
super
single
duper
mom of three.
focused.
Yeah, and you're a
And I'm
single
a mom.
mom of
Yeah,
three.
oh.
So you're full
I
operation.
am.
Mm-hmm.
I
Can I jump
am.
in
I run
here,
a nursing
y'all?
Mm-hmm. A
Cher,
lot.
first of all, I just want to
Yeah.
thank you so much for what you do. Being a nurse, it takes a special human being to care for others at their most difficult times in their life, physically, and sometimes emotionally, and definitely mentally as well. So thank you so much for what it is that you do. We have so many nurses that have come aboard with us here in Vital Health because, they see the effects of the narcotics that are being prescribed and the problems that
Mhm.
it causes. And sometimes they
Absolutely.
feel like, and I've heard this testimony over and over and over again from different nurses around different parts of the country who always say, they want to do something that is going to really and truly help their patients, not just give them essentially a bandage and then have it ripped off because it causes a problem somewhere else. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, we have so many nurses, but I just wanted to, just take a personal point of privilege and just, thank you so much for what it is that you're doing. And God bless you for being a mom of three. You're taking care of our future.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. You know, they forgot about the nurses after COVID.
Right.
That's what I say all the time. So I do appreciate when someone actually compliments the profession, because those of us who are very passionate about it,
Mhm.
it does take its toll on us. Hence, giving some of the problems that we tend to have a lot. Um, we're so busy with our patients that we hold our urine quite often. We don't eat
Oh.
appropriately. Um, and that's the other side of nursing that people don't really see. We're encouraging
Mhm.
fluid intake, yet we're not getting all of the fluid intake because then we're rushing to the restroom all the time and we don't have time. So it's
Mhm.
it's just a lot. And it has actually caused some Dre knows about some of my health concerns. One was
Mhm.
congenital. I was born with one functioning
Mm.
kidney, and that didn't come out until
Oh,
my
wow.
early 30s. Yeah. And so I've been 10 years dealing with that, which was causing like some edema, which is like swelling
Mm-hmm.
um, throughout the body. And I wasn't understanding where that was coming from because I wasn't the most unhealthy eater. I'm not saying that I never, did wrong, but it wasn't that much to have caused like weight gain. So that's one workup. And then I was just telling Dre that I'm under the workup now for something called trigeminal neuralgia. And I was like, this is crazy. It's very idiopathic. And from my understanding, stress can cause the issue. But, as I'm telling you all, just staying busy a lot and not really taking the time for myself, of course, can cause that. I honestly came off of a 12-hour overnight shift. But when Dre told me that this was happening, I missed the meeting yesterday because I was coming on to a shift and I knew there was no way I was going to get to a meeting. But I wanted to definitely stay awake for this one. And I did my part. I worked out and all that good stuff. But yeah, I do like to know more about this product. Well, the various products that has to offer, because vitamins work.
Yes.
On the spiritual side, I'm a Christian. So on the spiritual side, I will say, I run into this conflict a lot with my patients sometimes because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going over about 20 medications to see if this patient is taking 20 medications on a daily basis. And I know that a particular medication is going to cause high cholesterol here, and then this is going to cause you to have to take more medication eventually. It's just the never ending story, guys. It's the never ending story. And I wish that I could have a more holistic approach as to guide that, because I know that God intended for us to live on this earth forever. So it is in the vitamins. We can live. Someone kept saying like 100 years old. There's a lot of people living at 100, more than people begin to know, and it's their lifestyle. So yeah, we can
Andre,
get my bot going and see what's suggested for me.
Exactly what I was getting ready to say. Andre, you want to type in? She mentioned two different things. So let's do the first one and share if you want to repeat what the first one was, and then we'll come back around and do the second one as well.
Yes.
So
you told me what the name of it. I have it in the text, so I know I'm gonna need to spell it. It's the what is it? The trigeminal.
Trigeminal
neuralgia.
Trigeminal neuralgia. It's a nerve condition. I was having I thought it was honestly an ear infection coming on. And I was just thinking, geez, Shmeez, how did I get an ear infection at this great age? I haven't been swimming. And I do pretty good. Like with washing my hair, it's kind of odd for us to have that. And that's what I thought it was. And then it was unbearable to the point where I had to go to the hospital. And
are your ears ringing? Yep,
they were not ringing. It felt like an ice pick was being poked into my temporal area, and it was like a shocking radiation that would come over my face, one side of my face, periodically throughout the day. And I was nursing myself. Like, let's be real, I was nursing myself to the best that I knew how, until I couldn't take it and was like, no, I need help. And when I went to the emergency room, one of the doctors was like, geez, what you're explaining is something that he mentioned trigeminal neuralgia. And I was like, I've never, ever heard of that before. He was like, yeah, all the signs are leading Kodak to that. And they gave me a medication combination that would not suffice for my quality of life, which was Benadryl and Raglan. That's like a nausea medication, but for whatever reason, science determined that helps with trigeminal neuralgia, like in its extreme case. But of course, it did touch the pain. But then I got to go to sleep. I can't sleep as a nurse. And I was like, this isn't gonna work. So what else can happen here? And this is the most current thing that I've been dealing with, guys, now for the pain has been controlled now for about 2.5 weeks. So I'm very, very early in this. But it took steroids. Steroids have caused necrosis for me in my bones because I had to take them when I was pregnant. So anytime I had to take steroids, I get very, very nervous because I know what it actually does to our body on the other side of it. Um, and they gave me a plethora of vitamins and then nerve pain medication, but you can't really just take yourself off of nerve pain medication or anti-seizure medication because your body will go into a sense of it's in dependency of it, and you can get really sick and hurt yourself. And unfortunately, you could transition if not done correctly. So I'm trying to refrain from that part of it and just control it with the vitamins and currently, which is potassium. I read up on that with vitamins. So this was like right on time that Dre was telling me about this because I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute, forget the medullary sponge kidneys. I need to know about this trigeminal neuralgia because it sits me down. It sits me down.
But also connecting it to it, because I like to see what the other things are because they're connected together. I am going through something similar, which I've went to the hospital just to make sure and having that conversation with the doctor. But all of
Right.
these connect back to either your liver, your kidneys, and your main three organs of your digestion. Like everything is connected. So it's really amazing too to see. I don't know if you guys notice this, if these are some of the same things that we just saw in
Yeah.
related to the joint pain, the muscle pain.
Well, like I think Andre said earlier, it's inflammation.
Boom. That's exactly what I was
Yep.
about to say. Yeah.
Yep.
And too much mucus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Listen,
Body.
the mucus, when you get that mucus out of your body, everything starts behaving well. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I love me some cheese, but I stopped eating it in totality because of how it was making me feel when I would eat it. And mentally, I just started being like, I just don't eat cheese anymore. Even like my daughter says, I'm going to give cheese a break because I say it that much, right? I started
Mhm.
kind of taking in a little bit of cheese, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. And then I started noticing not only would I easily gain weight, get a little fluffy, right? Crazy.
Mhm.
Not like out of control, but just like, hey, what's going on? Also, I would notice that I would just feel a little stuffed up. I wouldn't be, my energy would be lower. Like mucus is just like dairy. To me,
Mhm.
anything that is like dairy focused,
Yeah.
period, just get it out of your body. Like if you're really trying to get yourself well, that's the first thing to detox from. And
Mhm.
I love like a wine and cheese. That's the good life for me. But those are the things that probably really make us the sickest. It's the alcohol
Mhm.
and any dairy,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
So, in my beginning of learning about this whole naturopath, it's the doctor that I tell in my story, the naturopath doctor, she shared with me a video that she was educated, that was part of her education system, and it showed under a microscope the good bacteria and the bad bacteria inside of your body. And then they showed when they fed the good bacteria that the bad bacteria was not moving very much. And they had them in two different colors. The good bacteria was starting to multiply, and then they were going over, and so they had to remain the majority. But then under the microscope they showed feeding the bad bacteria, and so the bad bacteria was now multiplying, and it was doing its thing, but it was also giving off gas. It was so these are the things, we're getting inflammation from their gas, we're feeling bloated, all of a sudden your nose is stuffy. This is because their toxins, they're releasing them inside of us in a large number. And so
Yep.
we have to keep this balance inside so that the good bacteria, we have to feed it so it can have the guards and the army that it needs to be
Yep.
able to keep law and order inside of your gut. Your flora has to stay in balance. So that's
Yep.
what's happening when because we're not feeding the good guys so that they can do their job inside of there, but both have to be in there. And that's what people don't understand. It's not that they're bad,
Yes.
it's just they got to stay in balance.
Yep.
So
Which is homeostasis.
yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so easy to go from one side to the next, just like a lot of people focus on everything echelon, everything echelon, and it's like there's so many diseases when your body is too far into an echelon state. And of course you all know the same when it comes to being
Right.
acidic. And like if we're not having that balance in the middle, that homeostasis, we have so many different concerns that go on with us very, very quickly and could be detrimental to our health. Uh, the good thing about what it seems that you all are talking about with the vitamins is in an ideal world, in a euphoric world where we can wave a wand, we have a lot of time. Unfortunately, it's not that easy for a lot of us to just say, oh, make the time. I know my schedule. Dre had to tell me one time, like, it's okay if you can't make every ball game or every tennis match or whatnot for them. It is okay. Like you're going through three children at one time. It's okay. So you find yourself running rampant a lot, and you don't slow down. So you do need something that you can ingest sometimes to help you, because it's not that easy to just make the time. So from what I'm hearing with the lovely queen on the phone who mentioned, her inflammation and having some issues with movement, and then starting to just move better and everything from ingesting the different Vita Health. It helps. We need help because balancing isn't just on what we're putting in our system, but also our time. We have to get to that point where we need help with
Yep.
adjusting to the time,
Mhm.
and stuff like this. Supplements help to help you, maneuver and get what you need. But sorry guys if I'm rambling a little bit.
No, 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 no.
No, it's
So
good.
this is actually what we do when we're talking to people. We're sitting down and talking to them about what's going on with them, and they kind of tell us how they're feeling. We are absolutely not doctors, right? But I can
Right.
tell you what each of the products has done in my body, and I can tell you how it possibly could help you. Like I'm
There you
hearing you
go.
share, and what I'm feeling that you need immediately is the Neuro Cafe and the V Italy. Like you need a detox. That goes without saying. We all do. I need my detox tea right now. But what you need is the V Italy and you need the Neuro Cafe because you're a mom, you're busy, your mind is going and clicking in all these different directions. You're thinking about your patients at work and you cannot rest even though you're tired. And then in the morning time when you wake up after getting a couple winks of shut eye, you're exhausted, you're not 100% at yourself. You can't give to those who you love and you definitely can't give to yourself because you haven't rested well. The Neuro Cafe will help you with that focus. It will help you. It also has a Ganoderma mushroom inside of it. And for me, it just quiets the noise. And if you're somebody like me, I wouldn't say that I'm a people pleaser, but the people that I love, I want to please them. And so we have there's all these different boxes that we need to check on a regular basis. And it really helps you to do that and to say, okay, this is what I need to do next. This is what I need to do next. And it just calms you down, but that V Italy, oh, you're not gonna be thinking about those darling patients. You're gonna be so knocked out. And when you wake up the next day and when you go to serve them, you will be able to serve them at the highest level because you will be awake and aware, and you will just be the nurse that God intended for you to be. And that's just what I'm saying off top. I feel like everybody should take the entire suite of products, but when I'm talking about if you need a right now fix, that is what I would tell you to have right now. Also, that V Daily. I think that, I mean, we always say, oh, the V Daily, the V Daily. Don't sleep on that V Daily. That V Daily,
Thank you.
baby, that V Daily right there will get you right, because it just makes your body feel good when you're drinking it. I am a big time coffee girl, but coffee does not do what that does. You literally feel it going into your body, and you're like, it feels like you want to say, thank you, God, because it feels so good. And it's especially when it's ice cold and you know that what it's doing in your body, it's like a jolt of health, you know. And I'm like not here for the exaggeration. Okay. So I
I'm
don't
a
want you
mom,
to
and my
think that,
son came home for the holidays.
yeah.
Sorry, the summer, not the holidays. He's home for the summer, and I've literally going through what I'm going through. I get home and all I want to do is go to bed, and I'm in bed that like I make him dinner and then I'm gone. And I
Yeah.
wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm still tired. And I'm just repeating. Started taking this. Like I swear, he was like, what are you doing? Last night I was in the kitchen cleaning. I couldn't stop. I was like, oh my gosh, I had so much energy. So,
Mm.
and mental clarity. I'm up here. Andre knows, like we went and then I'm online first thing 6 o'clock this morning, doing stuff inside the community. Corey Sherrill, I can't wait to show you what I created. So it's just really fun seeing that, moms, even for the dads out there, because we understand that dads take on that role too. But just being a parent, that's a whole nother full-time job in itself, in addition to the workloads that we already have. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That is really, really wonderful. I can't wait to see the other issue that you're having, Sharon,
Yes.
what it recommends as well. And then just listening to you, you're such an asset to this community share with the level of knowledge that you have, the institutional knowledge that you have with regards to our bodies and what our bodies need, and really what they crave, you know what I mean? And what it does not need, although it is what our healthcare system chooses to provide. And praise the Lord for the healthcare system. I'm not knocking it. So please, I hope no one, uh, you know,
Right.
uh, gets that from what I'm saying. I don't mean that at all. But what I am saying is that when it comes to nutritional supplements, and I did kind of want to talk about that just a little bit with you, Cher, because, I've been taking nutritional supplements since I was 18, and I think it's been about 47 years since I've been 18. You know what I mean? And so, so it's been a good little while, And I love nutritional supplements. Love, love, love them. And the best of them I have found in the network marketing industry, because they are scrutinized so heavily. So they have to come from a better quality of product. Well, what I love about these vital health products, and what makes them, what are setting them aside from other vitamins and supplements and things of that nature, is the technology in which they are created, the nanotechnology, which is why our bodies are so receptive to them so quickly. And it is simply because the molecules of these supplements are so teeny tiny, molecular size. They're so small that our body is able to receive them, and receive them well and quickly. And so that's quite different than some that we have been able to have access to when we go to some of these brick and mortars, and common places that we're all familiar with. And I certainly don't want to name any names or anything like that. But these products are able to work even better because of the nanotechnology. So, aside from the fact that the formulation is truly godsend, it is truly a godsend. The way these products were formulated, praise the Lord for Dr. Sebi, right? Praise the Lord for Dr. Tony, right? And so, along with that, they are also adaptogens so that they work on our bodies in the way that my individual body needs them quite differently from the way that your body may need them, Andre, or from the way that Charisma's body and Cher's body and Sherelle's body and, the whole nine. So that's what makes our products so special
Yeah.
and what makes them so effective. And I think that is so, so important for us to share so that people really understand we're not just talking about another product out there. We're not just talking about, another vitamin or another supplement. These products are really something special. And you'll know, Cher, for you, for sure. I can't wait for you to get them in your body. You'll know as soon as you start taking them. You watch, mark my words. And then those beautiful babies of yours, you'll be able to give them the products as well. My grandbaby takes them every single day, and she absolutely loves that omega-3. As a matter of fact, she asked for it, but not just her. Y'all, we've been animal lovers. I've been an animal lover since, day one, right? For me. And we give them to our dogs. We sure
Mm.
do. Yeah, we give them to our dogs, and the dogs love, love, love them. I mean, they sit and ask for them. So they'll sit, they'll hear me rattling the foil that it comes in, the foil bag container that it comes in. And honey, I'll tell you, they run right into my room or wherever I am, and they just sit right there, just so patiently, waiting to get their omega-3. So these products are phenomenal.
I love it. You're gonna make me give some to Chimp. Give him some.
Happy.
Oh,
Chimpy.
absolutely. Yes,
And
yes,
Linda,
yes.
and I don't want to interrupt. I had scheduled an appointment. Y'all can stay here. I just wanted to, let you know that I would have to jump off yeah, in just a moment. But yeah,
Well,
y'all
no,
can
we're
stay.
actually going to wrap up, Andre, because we've
Yeah,
actually gone 46 minutes overtime. We were supposed to
yeah, I know we went a little
4
bit
hours,
longer than expected,
This
but
was
it's
but
so amazing,
yeah,
though.
it was. This
Let's
is
do this
one.
again. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think
Yeah.
it's going to help people, and we need to help look, this is a mission. Okay. We need to help as many people
Yeah.
as we humanly can. And so, Cher, can we put in before you go, Andre? Can we put in the other issue so we can kind of see what needs to be addressed there?
It's called medular sponge kidneys. So medular is MEDULLAR, and then
Uh-huh.
sponge,
A sponge. Okay.
hmm kidney. hmm And this is something that in my early 30s, this is when it shows up. So people live with it and they don't realize that they have it. Um,
I think
Looking
sponge
back,
is
as
that
a child, I used to get
They fixed it.
yes, sponge. Okay.
things.
Um,
They got it.
Okay, okay.
SPONGE.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They do
And
spell
Drake,
check too.
Oh,
Drake
yeah.
is all about
Great.
The body's button.
I'm typing fast. There we go. Yeah. All right. AI, I see you. Perfect.
It's the same products.
Yep.
inflammation.
hmm
Yep.
Let's
It is.
It
Wow.
is. It's very much inflamed. You pass stones all the time.
Do we
Um,
do we know
and
if
you
this
try
is
to
what
drink
any of the packages,
water. What's that?
like all of these?
What did you say, Andre?
Oh no, I was just wondering if all three of these, like all of these products, do they come in one of the packages, like package one
Yes.
or okay.
Yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yep. So we can go over and Andre, I can assist you. And I would highly encourage you, Share, to join us for the 10-day detox
Mm-hmm.
challenge to kickstart as you introduce the herbs because we want to make sure that your body is cleansed as we're introducing
Yeah.
these to them to your body. Um, and I'm excited just to
Yeah.
Yeah.
hear your journey. And inside of our community, I just started creating a journal that everyone could use to journal every single day, about how you're feeling along the journey and talking about what you're having, so that you can look back on that journey and share it with the next person that may be going through it, as we begin to share our testimonies as well.
Absolutely. I'm definitely gonna look into that. And yeah, there's a few things that I have to say, but that's okay. We'll talk about it the next time. I think that will be a great idea, because I definitely want to embark too on the focus focus part too.
And share the other thing too, darling, I want you to be comfortable with is, I know as you're working, and taking care of your patients and your children for sure, the detox is not one that's going to keep you at home. You know what I mean? It's not one that's going to keep you next to the restroom, right? You're going to be able to, you'll know when it's time, and it won't be like, oh my God, it's too late.
Right.
It's not that type of detox. So you can function, 100% while you're doing your detox. I've been on detoxes before where I just stayed in the restroom. It just didn't make sense to come out, but that's not the case here. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay,
Guys.
that's good to know, because that's definitely something I was going to look into. Like, anytime you hear detox, it's like, geez, if I can barely have time to go to the restroom,
it turns into a job on its own.
But yeah, okay, yeah, we'll talk about it for sure. I was just looking at the time.
Okay. And you can reach out to us also. Like, I don't want you to feel like we have to come into this formal situation to have access to us. We can just jump on a quick call, a quick WhatsApp. It's no problem.
We do
And
it all
this
the time.
Vital Bot, you can go to this vitalhealthbot.com in private and put like, my pinky toe was falling off. What can I do? Because sometimes you don't want to have all your business out there, on the group, on the YouTube, and I think it's great. So we don't want to keep you. We don't want to hold you, but just know that we are absolutely 100% here to serve you.
Absolutely. Thank you all. And, like I said, just being in the field, yes, medication works and all that, too. It's just how, I have to put that disclaimer out there as a nurse. Like, yeah. So you reminded me that we were on YouTube. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. It works too, but we gotta.
You said your name. We don't know your name.
So we're going to wrap this up, guys. We're going to head out of here. It was a pleasure speaking with everyone. Everyone, thank you for joining. For those of you that tuned in via YouTube and want to be able to get up close and personal and be on the inside next time, so you can go ahead and get your questions answered and join us here live, go ahead and click the link that's inside of the description below this video and go ahead and join the community for absolutely free, and we will get you connected and you can get aligned with all of us. So till then, stay tuned and click like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Bye.
Till
God bless y'all.